Thanks for tuning in, and today we're going to go through your pictures from the third challenge, which was stones or bricks. Okay, I asked you to find an interesting rock or stone or a brick wall, and I asked you to use your imagination on making an interesting photo out of it. As always, you've responded to the challenge really well, so thank you for that. Very impressed with your pictures. But first of all, we're going to do a little bit of catch up because there were two photos that came in a bit later than I'd filmed the video for, so we're going to cover them because I don't want anyone to miss out. Okay, the first picture was from Monica, and this was from day one from the Flowers or Plants challenge. Monica got married it was 2 weeks ago tomorrow to Mark, and that was a lovely wedding, so congratulations again, Monica. Hope things are going well for you down in Kent. Lovely picture this one, Monica. I love the way you've got the blossom on the trees and the sunshine coming through the branches, giving a nice backlit photo. Really nice. And the second catch-up photo is from Noah, who's aged 10. And he sent in a picture from the day 2 challenge, which was pets. But we could actually use this for the challenge for today as well if we wanted, because it's got stones and rocks in it. And he sent a picture of Charlie, his dog, who's having a dip in the pond or the lodge, which is just around the corner from here. Lovely picture, got some nice blue colours. You've got some geese in there and some seagulls, and Charlie's just trying to work out whether he wants to go and swim after those geese or whether he'll just have a little paddle. I like these cobblestones you've got in the foreground as well. They're really good. Top tip for you, Noah, just try and keep the horizon level. You've got an ever so slight tilt there, and water needs to be flat. So whenever you've got water and sky in your picture, always make sure the water's straight. Yeah, it just makes it look that little bit better. And then for an extra point, if you either have 2/3 sky and 1/3 water, or the other way around where you have 2/3 water and 1/3 sky, it just adds a little bit of a bonus to your composition. Yeah, we're going to cover composition in the future. But no, that's a really nice picture, that, Noah. I like it. Thanks for sending it in. Okay, coming on to yesterday's challenge, which was challenge number 3 of stones. First one here from Zach, age 10. Really like this, Zach. I like the way that you've not chopped any of it off. You've got it nicely framed in there. You've gone for a square photo, so that's brilliant too. I love the texture of this moss that's growing on the rock, and you've got a patch of rock and some of the moss. So you've got the bare rock and then you've got all this moss around it. You've got some light and shadow in there, you've got some sunshine, you've got some shadows streaking across it, so really well done. And I like this little holly leaf in the bottom right corner as well. So I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that's a really nice picture, Zach. Well done. Next up, Finley, age 7. I like this picture, Finley. Just trying to keep it straight. Yeah, you've got a bit of a diagonal going on, so hold the camera straight if you can. And I like this little pebble that you've picked. I like the little ridge on the top with some light and shadow on there, and I like this green kind of mossy lichen on the front of it. That's really good. I like the purple flower in there, but it's just taking my eyes away from the rock a little bit, so just try and focus a bit more on that rock. Yeah, but it's a really good picture. I like that. Nicely done, Finley. Next up, we've got Eddie. Nice shot, Eddie. Look at this nice curvy wall that takes us from the start of the photograph at the bottom. It takes you all the way through the picture and then off to the right. I like this very much. I like the way you've got all these old leaves on the right hand side, and it gives that definition to the stone wall. You've got the lights and shadows in there, which is brilliant, and it's nice and straight. So really well done, Eddie. Nice job. Leila, brilliant picture. Leila's age 7. I like this. I like the way you've got circles, different layers and depth to the picture. You've got some light bits, some dark bits, and then the rocks themselves have all got different textures as well. So you've got this one on the left with the little mineral veins going through it. I think that's quartz. And you've got this pink one on the right with a bit of mud on it, so that's good. That adds some texture. You've got some darker rocks at the top with some scratches and scrapes on them. Then you've got these big pebbles underneath. Brilliant. Nicely done, Leila. Phoebe. Finley's sister. Phoebe's 5 years old, and look at this. I love the colours in this. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, we've got a rock in there. We've got all the little mineral veins going through it again, so there's plenty of detail in there. You've got this lovely plant pot with some rocks in there as well, with different colours and patterns in there, and you've got all this colour from the plants. Just try and straighten it up a little bit, Phoebe. Yeah, but that's a really nice picture. Well done. Fabulous colours. And you've got that lovely dark background of the fence as well. So, really good. Next up is Rufus. Well done, Rufus. Yeah, you've got this lovely stone ball with all its haphazard shapes and sizes of rocks and how they're all stuck together. You've got these nice green plants coming down it, and you've got a string of jam jars with lights in at night. I bet that looks good at night time. Really good. You've shot this into the sun, so you see how the top bit of the picture is a little bit hazy. Yeah, so just be aware of that, everyone, if you're taking pictures directly into the sun. So even though we can't see the sun in this picture, yeah, you've got that bit of a haze that comes through from pointing your camera towards the sun. So just watch out for that, but I like that. That's really detailed. And you've just got a bit of sun breaking out of the top there in the middle between the two green plants. So we've got some light and dark in there. Nice job, Rufus. Meg, age 7. This is good. Look, we've got light and dark. We've got millions of different pieces of gravel. Some flint, some granite, some all sorts of stuff in there. Sandstone, quartz, limestone. Really good. I like the detail. I like the way you've composed that. There's nothing in there that distracts your eye. It just goes all around the picture. Really nicely done. Sarah sent in a family picture taking their daily exercise. I like this. I like the use of the stepping stones as they cross over that stream. Some nice thumbs up and some smiley faces. Yeah, really nice. I like the way you put the people in the order. Yeah, so you've got the youngest at the front, and then you've got this tall chap in the middle and the young lady at the back. I like that. I like the way it's been composed. And I think you've done some kind of editing effect on it as well. So, very good, Sarah. I like it. Next up, we've got May. May's 10, I believe. I can't remember, 10 or 11. I think it's 10. And we've ticked all the boxes here. So we've got light and shadow at the edge there with those leaves and branches sticking out. And we've got that nice pattern, regular pattern of the brick wall going through. And then we've got the main subject, which is this statue of a lady. Really nicely composed. You've got them in the middle. Just chop the top of the head off there, May. So maybe just step back 6 inches, take one step back. But I like the composition. I like this little pig you've got in the background. It's a little bit wonky. You've got a little bit of a tilt going on, so try and keep that straight. And yeah, I like that. Well done, May. Next up is Isla, who is 4 years old. And we've got some rocks, we've got some light, we've got some shadow, we've got some textures, we've got moss on there. And I like the way that you've seen how these rocks are just positioned on the ground. I don't think you've picked them up, but they're really nicely done. Yeah, that's really good. I like that. There's lots of things to look at in there. Well done, Isla. Ria, this is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Look at that. So let's start at the top. We've got a nice dark background with some nice repeating patterns of the stripes on the fence, and we've got the wavy tops of the fence. And it comes down. You've chosen a light surface to put that pebble on, and it's lovely and light. And then you've got this beautiful black rock, probably obsidian or something like that, or basalt, but more likely basalt, I think. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's not a geology lesson, is it? But you've got this black rock. It looks like it's been painted on the top with that blue and a bit of yellow. But look at this, everybody. So you've got this lovely light surface that Ria's put it on. You've got this black rock, and then look at the shadow there. So you've got it in bright sunshine, and you've got this beautiful shadow coming out across the light surface. Absolutely fabulous, that, Ria. Send some more like that. That's brilliant. Thank you. Amelia, age 10. Picture of some marble that you found. I don't know if this is inside or outside. I'm going to guess that it's inside, but I love this. I love the detail in it. I like this light and dark contrast. I like the way you've got it all going vertically from top to bottom, and all these minerals you can see that are in there, some quartz and stuff. Really good. Thanks, Amelia. Great shot. Eliot 11 sent in what looks like a ceramic pipe or a chimney pot or something. I'm not sure what it is, whether it's a plant pot. It's got some soil in the top, so it might have been used as a plant pot. I don't know. But Eliot, I've got to say, I loved your Lady and the Tramp yesterday, and this one is brilliant too. So you've got no distractions, you've got no clutter in the background, you've just got your subject, and it's in bright sunshine, and look at that shadow that's coming out behind it. Yeah, really good. You've got some shadow behind the brightest part of your subject too, at the top right, so that gives some really sharp edges and contrast. Really nice. Same again as I think it was made. Just take half a step back and just try and get all that shadow in. We just nipped off the edge of the shadow there. That's the only thing I could say would improve this picture. It's really good. And then you've got all this texture on the ceramic pipe. I can't touch terracotta, it sends my hands funny. There's a top tip for you. But yes, I like that, Eliot. I like what you've done with the light. Really good. Ned 11, brilliant this, Ned. I like this very much. Yeah, you've got that really nice square picture with all this green that goes all the way around it. You've got some light, you've got some shadows, you've got dark, you've got highlights, and then you've got your stone in the middle of it, and you've got it absolutely bang on in the middle there. It's really good. These stalks you can see at the bottom, the little fuzzy bits there, draw your eye into the centre of the picture and draw the attention to the subject, which is your pebble. Really nicely done, Ned. Nice greens as well. Okay, next up is from Daniel, and he's sent in this picture of a lovely pile of stones, and he's got a really interesting effect going on there. So we've got a nice blurred foreground, then we've got a nice strip in the middle that's in focus, and then moving towards the back of the image it goes out of focus again, then you've got that bright patch of light in the background. Nicely done, and you told me that you've done a bit of editing on this picture, which is great to see. Trying something different. All I'd say, when you're editing stuff, yeah, less is more. So just do little alterations, little changes, see how it looks, take a couple of minutes away, then come back to it, look at it again, think, was that too much, is that not enough? But that's a nice picture, that one. And then from Charlotte, we've got another one, and I like this as well. Similar sort of technique to Daniel. So you've got a blurred foreground and background, and then the depth of field, which is the bit in focus, is this strip along the middle, left to right. And I like this green shoot that you've got popping out here on the left hand side. Yeah, adds a bit of interest to it, a bit more of the story. And I like the textures and shapes of all these pebbles that you've used. Yeah, maybe take that other leaf out at the top. Let's see if you can move it. And you've got some light and shadow going on too, so really well done. Nice one. And next up we've got Bob. Bob sent in this picture of a statue. Yeah, he's just sat there in the sunshine, getting himself nice and warm in this lovely weather. Good use of texture on the top of it, and we've got light and shadow. We've got some shadow on its nose and at the top of the head, and then you've got this lovely plain green grass in the background. Not sure what this brown thing is next to it. I can't work it out. If anyone else can work it out, perhaps you let me know. But yeah, it's interesting. Lots of stone, colours, shapes, patterns, textures. Great stuff, Bob. Thanks for sending that in. David, the professional, has sent in this picture. Now, this is what I was saying about brick walls, yeah? So look for something interesting, because a brick wall isn't the most interesting thing to look at sometimes. But look what David's done with this, okay? Well, I'll go through this slowly because it's fabulous. So he's picked one brick, yeah, and that runs across the centre of the picture. He's got the same amount of mortar or cement, the thing that sticks the bricks together, above and below the one brick that he's chosen. And then we've got some really nice detail and texture on that brick that he's chosen. But can you see what David's done with the light there? So on the left hand side, that half of the brick is in bright sunshine, and on the right hand side we've got the dark where it's in the shadows. So not only have we got symmetry, we've got asymmetry. Absolutely brilliant. I could look at this all day, David. I'm not going to, but I could do. And that's really, really good. Yeah. So next time I say to you, look, find an interesting angle or an interesting picture of something that's not particularly interesting, think back to this picture and how David's used the different elements of light, shadow, symmetry, both vertically and horizontally, and then it's still got all that lovely detail in there and some colours as well. Fabulous, that. Brandon, I like this one. I hope you've not painted all that bamboo on just for the photo, but that's really good. You've got it nice and straight. You've got a natural border at the top and the bottom, so you've framed that wall nicely. You've got pretty symmetrical there with the plant at the bottom left and the bottom right, and then you've got this nice greenish sort of layer at the bottom of all these small plants. And is that a bit of grass there? I don't know, but yeah, it just sets it up really nicely. And then you've got all this detail in the wall. Nicely composed, that, Brandon. Nice job. And that's it for everyone today. So we're not quite as many pictures today as we had over the last 2 days, but it's Friday, weekend's coming up. Friday's challenge number 4, day 4. I'd like something metallic, please. So it can be inside, outside, it can be an object that you use, anything like that, but it must be metallic, made out of metal. Yeah, it can have paint on it, but as long as it's made out of metal, it's fine. Same rules apply. Think about your backgrounds, think about clutter, try and use light and shadow wherever possible. If you've got a nice shadow, try and make the most of it. Don't chop the edges off anything. Watch for reflections though. Yeah, I don't want to see 10 pictures of people like this in their reflections, unless it's deliberate. But again, think about it. If you're going to use a reflection, think about what the reflection's of. Look forward to seeing them all. Thanks again for watching. If you've got anything you'd like to ask, get your grown-ups to email in, and when they're sending the pictures, I'll try and answer the questions in the next video. Maybe give me an idea for a theme. Yeah. So look forward to seeing your pictures. Remember, 4 o'clock deadline. Email them in to this address here, and I'll speak to you soon. Have a nice day. Get out in the sunshine. See ya.